Yes, I do. So we are starting over with some horrible Wi-Fi. The first activity we did was, we just handed over to the Lord, okay? And the second activity we do, I'll share my screen again. All right. We're going to do the hard stuff first. What does that mean? It means talking to people about this, okay? Sometimes that's really hard, but if you really think about it, because people are like, I don't want to sell to my friends. I don't either. Believe me, I don't. What I do want to do is help my friend that's super depressed to not feel that way anymore. I want to help somebody that's totally bloated all the time and feels gross. I want to give them the solution. I can't tell you how thankful I was when my friend Lori Beth told me about it. It was honestly an answer to prayer, and that's why I do this. I'm not sure I could do this with a different product, but that's because God led me to this one, not that one. So what you're going to do, here's what I do. I kind of make what I call the plexus sandwich. The bread of it is a personal thing. So I pick one person off of my list of people that I think might like this. And I talk about something personal first. Why? Because this is all about relationships. And my relationship with each person is more important than plexus. And I always keep it in that order. So I might say something like, oh my gosh, a picture of the first day of school. It was such a great idea. I'm going to do that whenever I'm together enough to actually take a back to school photo. Ha 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 ha. Personal, personal, personal. Then I'll say, okay, so different subject. I'm not sure if you've seen my posts about plexus, but I'm looking for a few people to send a taste test of the pink drink to. Have you ever tried it? Want to? My results in 16 months have been a complete loss of anxiety. I've dropped 2 sizes and I have more energy than the cast of Annie before a matinee. There is really not anything I've found that I love more. If you want some, shoot me your address and I'm happy to hook you up. Then I put the bottom piece of bread on. Another personal statement. Off to berate myself for not documenting my children's lives properly. So you don't have to sound like me. You're you. I'm me. So don't try to be me. There's only one you. So don't deprive the world of that. So what we're going to do, I usually do 2 or 3 people a day because I want to grow and I want to help people. Today, you're going to pick one person that you're going to send a message like this to. Okay? So on your mark, everybody put your profile picture up. And I'll give you a couple minutes to make that happen. Oh no, I don't want to stop the video because I want you to see this. And I'll leave this message up for you to be able to refer to it. Can you guys see it? How are we doing, everyone? If you're done, go ahead and let me see your face moving. Waiting for a few more people to finish that. And I say, I'll just start talking again while people are finishing. I say this is the hard stuff, but you will be surprised at how few people will turn you down when you say, do you want something free? Most people will be like, sure. Does that mean that they're going to end up ordering? No, not necessarily. And luckily, we have something that's relatively inexpensive to send a taste test of. So sending person one little thing of pink drink, easy peasy. Okay, great. I'm going to keep going. Hang on. Oh, Marcy. No, you got it back, Marcy. Okay. Next, what I do after I message 1 to 3 people is, hang on a second, guys. I follow up with 1 to 3 people. Now, usually what this is people that I've sent samples to last week. It might be time for me to say, okay, Jessica, give me a pink drink rating on a scale of 1 to 5. How did you like the taste? That's it. That's what I say. How'd you like it? Usually that leads to a conversation of, oh my gosh, I love it. Now, what does it do again if I do this more long term? And you have that conversation. Or they might say, I don't like sweet things at all. And what do you do there? You do not try to convince them to like sweet things. You just say, okay, glad you tried it. Move on. That's it. Okay, no need to like meet the objection of, I didn't like the taste. If they don't like it, they don't like it. And if I don't like it and you try to tell me that I should, I'm going to be irritated. All right, the other way that you could follow up is, let's say that you've talked to Jill and she's like, gosh, I really kind of want to do it, but I just don't have it in my budget right now. Well, maybe a couple months later, you're doing like a little special. You can go back to Jill and say, hey, Jill, wanted to let you know about something I'm doing from now until the 31st. I'm offering $10 off your first order. I know you said finances were an issue before, so if you're still interested, I thought this might help. See you Thursday night, because apparently I'm having dinner with Jill Thursday night. I don't know. You know, maybe make it a sandwich there too. And if the sandwich to you seems inauthentic, it's not. It's you letting them know that your personal relationship with them outweighs whether they do or don't want this or not, okay? Sometimes though, with this, like I don't feel the need to be personal first. Or some of you probably aren't to this point yet, but I am. Plexus sometimes will send me emails saying, hey, we're going to send emails to some of your former customers that aren't customers anymore, and we're going to offer them 20% off if they want to order anything. So I'll follow up with one of those people and say, hey, John, I just wanted to give you a heads up. You're going to be receiving an email from Plexus offering you 20% off your next order. Not sure if you've been wanting to jump back in, but didn't want you to miss out if you've been thinking about it. Hope you and Jackie are well. That's it, okay? So if you have anyone to follow up with right now, I want you to follow up with them. If you don't, send another one message to someone else offering them a sample. Okay? All right, so everybody turn off their video and go. the other thing you can do, guys, is you can do what my cousin Wendy's doing right now and answer. She got a response to her initial reach out. That would be preferable to following up with someone right now. So if somebody actually answered you, go ahead and answer them. And a couple more words about follow-up while you're finishing up. We tend to feel like if somebody doesn't respond right away that we shouldn't follow up again. You really don't know why they didn't answer. Maybe they saw it and said, oh, I need to get back to Jen. And then they get busy, or their kid throws up, or something happens and they just forget. So think of it as you're being of service. Now, if they're clearly not interested, then don't follow up, because this is not about us being irritating just for sales purposes. This is about us helping them. If they don't want this help or need this help, don't tell them or convince them that they do. Okay, you'll have a better shot at them wanting to try it later on if you behave that way. Okay, I see some not real people on there. Is everybody done? Ready to continue? Great. Awesome. Okay, continuing on. What I do next, I already talked about follow-up. I do check-ins. You know, if you give somebody the pink drink and they order it and then you never talk to them again, not a good idea. You want to touch base with them from time to time. I have 3 touches that I do. Hang on a second, I need to move this out of the way. I have 3 touches that I do with my customers. So I try to touch base with 3 customers a day. If you just started doing this, you probably only want to do this with 1 person a day. If you only have 1 person, don't check in with them every day. Okay, this is just for when you get down the line a little bit. So my new customers, I reach out to them 3 times. One is a couple days after they order. I make sure they got their products. I tell them how to take the products. I talk about weighing and measuring, and I probably sent an email to all of you about this. And if you want to know more about what that email looks like, message me later and I can send you what I sent. And then I touch base with them again a week into it to say, you might be experiencing a little detox. Here's some information on that. Here's how to combat it. Don't quit. Keep going. Rah, rah. Then about a week before they're set to have their next order ship, I'll check in with them again and say, okay, how are we doing? Do you want to add the triplex this month? If you're already doing the triplex and you love it, like you told me you did yesterday, maybe you want to upgrade yourself to get the wholesale price if you know you're going to stick with this. Okay, so I do 3 touches that first month. There's some people that don't like to be checked in with. Figure out who those people are and don't bug them. Some people love it. Some people, I don't even have to follow up with them because they always they reach out to me. Current customers that have been around for a while, maybe they want to flip this month. They didn't last month, but they do this month. How are you doing? Do you want to add block like we talked about the other day, or something else? I also check in with 3 current ambassadors, especially if they're just wholesale customers who are just wanting to get the products for the lower price. They don't want to work the business. I treat them like customers and make sure they're doing okay. Sometimes, like the last couple days, I've been doing a lot of this. Hey, I noticed that your convenience order was supposed to ship on the 28th, but something happened with your credit card and it didn't. You might want to fix that and just know that nothing's coming to you right now. Or like a new ambassador who doesn't turn their convenience order on, I'll say, hey, I just want to make sure you know you didn't set up your convenience order. And so nothing's coming. If you're expecting it, it's not coming. So let me teach you how to do that. So if you have some customers, like for those of you that are doing the back to school big pink test group, go ahead and pick 2 or 3 of those to just message and say, all right, we're about halfway through that. How you doing? How you liking it? Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that. Ready, set, go. All righty. If you only got to one person, that's fine. You can get back to that later. So, what do I do next? Something that you probably do every day of your life anyway. This is why this is so simple. Post on social media. I don't mean post about Plexus. I mean, people are friends with you on Facebook because they want to see you and your real life, and they want to see you being authentically you. They don't want to see a constant ad for Plexus. Now, most of you don't like to post about Plexus at all, so this is not a problem yet. But if you go back through and look through your social media posts, and the last 8 of them, more than 5 or 4 are Plexus posts, you're out of balance. You're just out of balance, okay? And guess what? People are gonna stop following you. So I post 1 to 2 times personally a day. Why do I do this? I do this because if you don't post on Facebook, you stop showing up on Facebook. And people, you can post about Plexus all day long, people won't see it, okay? So it's a good idea to keep your own feed active. I post 1 to 3 times about Plexus a week, usually 1 or 2. Rarely will I do 3. I might be wrong. A lot of people say, you've got to post every day. I don't agree. That's just me, but you do you. I don't want to see product ads every single day of my life about other products. It's just not what I want to see. And a lot of people say, well, but people don't see it. I do. If I'm interactive with you and you post every single day about Plexus, I see it. Okay. So I really am intentional about what I post about Plexus. And I do it once or twice a week so that people, and then when I post personally, I make it so that people would rather die than unfollow me, okay? I try to be fun. I try to be entertaining. Again, you be you. Maybe you're not the fun and entertaining type. Maybe you're the inspirational type. Maybe you're the wacko type. I don't know. But one thing I will say is try not to be negative, or try not to be divisive, because let's just say you want to share your opinion about something that's going on in the world. You can do that, but just know that you might alienate half your audience. Okay? So what do I post about Plexus? Because people are like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to post. Well, first of all, you can steal my posts anytime you want, especially if we don't share a lot of the same friends. I don't mind. Make it you, though. I post articles about gut health. I post testimonials sometimes, especially my own personal experience. And then, oops, sorry, let me go back to this. One thing that I do that works really well and that we're going to do right now is I give away stuff. I give away a sample. So if you go to the Plexus Makes Perfect team page, there is a post that I put up there today that has the text you need and it has the graphic you need. So download the graphic to your computer, copy and paste the post it if you want. If you have something else you want to do that. Barbara Johnston posted a great article about Hashimoto's and thyroid issues on the customer page today. If you don't know how to get there or you need that post, message me and I can help you, okay? So everybody go, offer some people some samples. You can change the post that I did. You can tailor it to be you. That's totally fine. I'm just giving you an idea, okay? All right, off you go.
Kelly, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Hey, where is the Hashimoto's article?
That is on the Plexus Makes Perfect customer page. Are you on that, Jen?
I am. I'm on. It's the one where you posted 2 hours ago, the free pink drink Wednesday.
No, that's the team page, Jen.
Oh.
The customer page is, let me just see if you're on that. Okay. I think you are. I try to add everybody on there because I post good ideas for things that you might want to post. Hang on. Let me see if you're on it. Yeah, you're on there.
Hmm.
So just type in Plexus Makes Perfect customer page and it should come up and it's the very first article that's on there.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There we go.
How do I download the
graphic? No. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How do you download the graphic?
Yeah.
You hit Options, Download, and it'll save it to your desktop.
Okay.
And then you can drag it into your own post. I always suggest you don't want to share posts. If you see something great, don't share it. For one, it's inauthentic. 2, not as many people see it. I don't know why. There's some weird algorithm. Always cut, copy, and paste the text, and frankly, make it your own.
Okay.
And then actually that's an article, Jen. That's not a graphic. So what you're going to need to do is click on it.
Yeah, I copied the link.
Copy the link, and if you
Yeah.
put it in the post, it'll show up just like it did for Barbara.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Sometimes when I post articles, I don't always say Plexus can help with this. Like you don't always have to. It can be something that supports overall health and wellness and doesn't say a word about Plexus. We want to attract people to us, not promote it so much. It's why I don't use a lot of product photos, because if I see product photos, I usually already know what they are and I'm going to scroll right by. But if I see Jen talking about something personal to her, well, I'm going to read it because I haven't seen that 100 times. This is something new that she's saying, right? So that's why you're not going to see a lot on my page, and I do post about the business, but I don't post about it in the way that's like, are you in debt? Could you use an extra $300 or $400 a month? I do what I did yesterday. I don't know if you saw what I did yesterday that did talk about me working this as a business, but it talked about my authentic experience, about how I was very apprehensive to do this in the first place. And it took me a while to come around to say, you know what, I need to do this. Y'all, I had 4 or 5 people message me after that and say, okay, I want to know what this is. What are you doing? I didn't expect anybody. There's times where I do posts where I'm like, oh my gosh, 20 people are going to message me, and 0 do. And then I'll do something like that yesterday where I'm like, this is just not going to go over well. And all of a sudden I get it hits a whole different demographic in my audience. So if you're only posting about anxiety, only people with anxiety are going to talk to you. If you're only posting about weight loss, only the weight loss people are going to talk to you. You need to do weight loss, wellness, and maybe every now and again, wealth, the 3 W's. But even then, like, I'm not really big. Like, if you post something, I'm sorry, I'm talking your heads off, but if you post something that's like, watch me or join me, I'm not going to join you. That's maybe my personality. But you've now just challenged me and said that what I'm currently doing is dumb and what you're doing is better. And my personality is just going to be like, no, actually, I like what I'm doing, so I'm not going to join you. I don't do a lot of that. I don't do a lot of, if you knew that you could make $500, wouldn't you want to do it? There's better ways. There's better ways.
Hey, where is the graphic that I'm looking for? I found the one. I thought it was what.
Are you on Facebook, Wendy?
Yeah, I am. Is it Free Pink Drink Wednesday?
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Now you, Wendy, I know Kathy said that you could use her page.
Yes, and I haven't done it yet.
You haven't done it yet, and I'm not sure I would do it now without letting her know.
Right.
You might want to just do it on Instagram for now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Everyone pretty much done with that little task? Even if you're not, we're moving on. Okay, great. Next, interaction. Again, this is to expand your audience. I interact with people. I pick 3 people whose posts I normally don't comment on, and I'll chime in about something. Now, again, this smacks of inauthenticity. I get it. But guess what? You do it anyway. You know when you do it? When you say happy birthday to people. So every day I look to see whose birthday it is. Who doesn't like to be told happy birthday? Usually it's more than 3 people. It depends on how many friends you have. And that covers it. If it doesn't, I'll go and I'll look in my friends list. And frankly, I like to do this. I found that I like to do this because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's Betsy. I haven't seen anything from Betsy in a while, but I see she just posted yesterday. So clearly I am not in her loop anymore. So I'll comment on her because I want to see her stuff, right? But it also helps her see yours. So I do that. So I'll say happy birthday to people and I'll look at my friends list. I also will pick a person to message, not about Plexus, just to connect, right? Usually that happens every day anyway, again. So some of this, it will happen naturally. If it doesn't, like for example, sharing about Plexus with one person a day. At the beginning of my journey, my goal was to share Plexus with one person a day. A lot of times it happened naturally in person, at the soccer field, after school, at the mall, when I ran into people and they were like, you look different. What are you doing? If I did that, I didn't have to reach out to someone. If it didn't happen, then I would, okay? Or maybe I still did it anyway. So I message people not about Plexus all the time, just to connect. Why? I don't want them to think that Plexus is all I talk about. It's only a small part of who I am and what I do. All right, so go ahead and do that for the next 2 minutes. And while you're doing that, if anyone else has any questions about anything we've done so far, go ahead and shout them out now.
Hey, Kelly, I got on after you had lost connection. Did I miss anything in that first couple minutes?
Who am I talking to? Is that Cindy?
It's Jen.
Oh, Jen. You missed the part where I told people to pray.
Okay.
And hand this over to God.
Okay.
To be successful, because I think he wants me to be. So, you know, if you're not a praying person, you do what you do.
Yeah. I am.
I know. I gathered. I think that's important. I actually don't necessarily do it at the beginning of my power hour. I have a thing that I do every morning for 15 minutes. And I have a prayer list. If you don't do this, this is a great thing to do. I have a list. I put it in a chart of things that I'm praying for. And then I have a space where I can mark how it was answered. It's just astonishing. It's astonishing to me how much is answered that I would forget was answered if I hadn't written it down.
Yeah.
So, and I on my list was I really want to go Ruby by July 31st. I do. If I don't, not the end of the world. But guess what?
Yeah.
At the 11th hour, I did. There's a video out there to prove it. The other thing I suggest when it comes to interaction, while you're still doing this, I almost never bring up Plexus when I see somebody in person. Never, 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 unless they bring it up first. It's just a good rule of thumb. Unless they don't know that I do Plexus and they talk about how tired and exhausted they are, then maybe I will. But if they know that I do Plexus, we've talked about it before, they're not interested, I don't bring it up. I know that a lot of this, people talk about overcoming objections. Be careful with that. Be careful with that, because you can overcome objections, and then it's irritating. And so when people say I can't afford it, I'll say, totally get it. If it didn't help me so much, I probably wouldn't spend the money either. That's what I say. And then a lot of times they're like, well, but you spend the money, huh? And I'm like, well, the way I justify it to myself, this is not what you should do, it's just what I do, is it's only $4 a day. But I haven't been to the doctor in a year and a half. I haven't needed any medications in a year and a half. My family likes me a lot more. I don't want to kill anyone. That's worth $4 a day to me, you know, but maybe not for you. I give them an out all the time. I really do. Maybe that's not smart, but it is what I do. Okay. So you've interacted. You've got to expand your network. Why? Because if you don't, you will run out of network. So I try to add one Facebook friend a day. I do. And here's what I do. I don't necessarily add them right when I think about them. What I do is I add them to a note in my phone of a list of people that I'm like, you know what, I should be friends with that person. That way, when I get to this segment in my daily IPA, I have a list. I don't have to think about it. I say this takes 3 minutes. It doesn't. It takes me about 5 seconds because I have a list. And I just go to whoever I feel like adding that day, right? And then at the same time, I add that same person to my what I call PNP list, people that need Plexus. A lot of people call it a Frank's list. I like PNP better. I'll add them to that list. But what happens if somebody friends me on Facebook? I count that too. I count that too as my one. And I will add them to my PNP list. Does that mean that I reach out to them that day? Most of the time, no. In fact, if somebody reconnects with me, I had somebody reconnect with me that I haven't talked to in probably 20 years. I am not going to talk to her about Plexus for a good long time. Why? Because ew, no, don't do that. So I add 3 people to that list. That way I don't have to think about it. A lot of people are like, I don't have anybody to reach out to. Well, if you are systematically adding to your list, you will. At least you're gonna have a better shot at it. And then I add those people. How do you do this? Go through your husband's friend list. If you like done with your own friend list, go through your husband's friend list and be like, oh my gosh, he's friends with Joe that we went to college with. I should be friends with him, right? Doesn't always have to be totally inauthentic. Okay. Also, there's that thing on Facebook that's like people that you know. A lot of people, I'm like, oh yeah, I should know them. All right, so go ahead and do that for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, whatever. If you want to just start making that list, if you haven't made a PNP list, take this next 3 minutes and write down a bunch of people. It took me a long time to do this because I was like, ew, no, I'm not doing that. Can you tell I'm rebellious? I really am. I wish I would have done it sooner. I really do, and offered samples because 99% of the people are like, yeah, you know what? I've been meaning to check this out, or, you know, whatever. So, Plexus is such a great product because everybody in this country, they're either fat, depressed, or tired. Almost everybody. They're one of the 3. And it hits so many demographics: men, women, old, young, children. There's really not anyone that this can't help, at least one product. So what was I saying? I don't know. Okay. The next thing we're going to do, because we're getting a little short on time, I'm going to talk about this while you're thinking of these names, okay? Personal development. And we don't have to do this. You don't have to take the time to do this today. Guess what? You're already doing it. By being on this call, you're doing this. You are developing your craft of being an authentic, intentional, ambassador for health and wellness. But on another day, you might choose to read some really good articles about gut health. You might watch some YouTube videos about product knowledge so you can explain this. Some good people that I like are Jennifer Pickett, Kim Pollack, and Ame Darling. That builds my belief in these products. These people, all of those people are master nutritionists or holistic health and wellness counselors. They've studied this, they've studied nutrition, they know what they're talking about. So it builds my belief that yes, I'm on the right track. I already knew I was because of how much better I feel, but this, if I'm having a day where I'm like, is this dumb? Maybe this is really dumb. I'll watch something that they say, I'm like, no, this is not dumb. This is the smartest thing I've ever done. I'll watch YouTube videos about the business, about network marketing, about how to grow this business. So this would be an example of one of those videos. Other people that do a really good job are Emily Roberts, Tara Castaneda. If you have anybody that says to you, hey, can pregnant people take this? Tara Castaneda, her pregnancy and breastfeeding testimony on YouTube is a great thing to send. Kelly Norman is great. Jen Hawkins is great. Of course, Celeste Gwynn. Jen Hawkins and Celeste Gwynn are the top 2 ambassadors in this company. FYI, they make about $60,000 a month. There's only 2 of them. There's a lot of room in this company for other people like that. Or maybe I'll read a book about network marketing. If you told me a year ago that I'd be reading a book about network marketing, I would have just stared at you blankly. But I've read a bunch of them now, and I don't use everything I read, but there are a lot of good things that I do read. So a couple examples of those that I like is The 4-Year Career, Go for No. My personal favorite, Get Over Your Damn Self. That's what I had to do. I had to get over my damn self. And I'm glad I did. I really don't regret getting over myself because I've helped a lot of people, and I've helped my family, and I've helped myself. Okay, so that's personal development. Next, you're going to spend, maybe not now, this might be in the future, you're going to train your people. I spent a lot of the first year finding my people, right? Now that I've found a bunch of people that are like, you know what, this is a good idea, I might want to do this, I need to duplicate what I'm doing. That's one of the most important things you can do, is duplicate. I don't know that I've been great at that in the first year. I'm trying to get better at it now. This can include, let's say you have a new ambassador and they're trying to talk to their friend and they're like, I don't know how to say anything. Have them throw you in a 3-way message. If you are still that person, bring me into a 3-way message. I've done that with so many of you. Third-party validation is one of the most important things you can do. So don't underestimate the importance of third-party validation, okay? Never hesitate to just don't even ask. Don't even say, hey, do you mind if I bring in my upline? No, don't say that. Say, hey, start a 3-way message and say, hey, this is my friend Kelly. She's been taking Plexus for a year. She knows a heck of a lot more than me. Kelly, what is the right answer to this question so I don't mess it up? Just be casual about it. Nobody has ever minded. Nobody has ever said, excuse me, why are you putting me in this 3-way message? You can train them to do just what I'm training you to do today. Eventually, you're going to have your own team, believe it or not. I can't believe I do, but I do now. And it's actually really kind of fun. If you're on this call, you're somebody that I really like and I really want to spend more time with and have a reason to interact with. This is one of them. Once you hit gold, that's like 20 ambassadors on a team, you might want to start a team page like I do and have your own team thing going on. Post on your customer page, which I have both a customer page and a page for ambassadors. If you are like, I can't do that, don't. Use mine. But maybe you want to. Maybe you're the type that wants to. A couple of you on this team are. Great, so obviously we're not going to take time to do that right now, but that's just something in the future. So now that we have all these things, here's a few things that could derail you. Every one of these things has derailed me before, but I hung on to the rail and then I swung my leg back over and got back on, okay? yourself, pretty much only yourself is going to derail you. One, fear. You're saying to yourself, I'm afraid this won't work, therefore I probably shouldn't work it at all. Let's just say that you're afraid, and maybe this only works half as well as you think. You're still further ahead than you would have been, okay? I was really afraid of what people would think of me, and so I didn't want to do this. Now I really don't care. Laziness. I don't really feel like working this, therefore it just doesn't work. It's too hard. It's too many things. What I'm showing you right now is really all this takes. You can do this in 30 minutes a day. You really can. 30 minutes a day, if you knew that that would provide you with an extra $3,000 to $4,000 a month or more, I'll give up 30 minutes of my day. Or lack of vision. This didn't work today, therefore it probably won't work tomorrow. Nobody responded to me today, therefore they never will. Guess what? Learn from me. That's not true. Maybe nothing tangible happens from today, from what you did today. But if you continue to do it day in, day out, consistently, things will happen. If you post on Facebook about plexus or gut health or health and wellness 1 to 2 times a week, people will start coming to you with questions. People will start saying, you're still doing this. There must be a reason why, and you look freaking awesome, which I do. No, I'm kidding. So people are going to start trusting you and coming to you, okay? So don't let any of those things derail you. I decided, maybe 6-7 months into doing this half-heartedly, that I was going to draw my line in the sand, and this is going to be a way that I was going to help support my family financially. My why is not so much that I'm like this health and wellness, icon, although I am, because this really helped me, but I can be that without working plexus as a business. But like I've said before, I've been in Hollywood for 25 years. That's not really the most stable existence. This has really provided some stability for my family that is going to be amazing as I head into retirement, to be honest. So that's my why. You have to figure out your own why. Because that why will keep you from being derailed when things are just dumb and stupid, okay? And finally, what I want to say is success does not come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. If you do this once a month, don't expect to be a gold ambassador. But if you do it every day, you will grow, okay? And if you don't let those things derail you on the day-to-day. Now, does life get in the way? Is there times when I don't do this? Yes, but guess what, guys? I've done this in Hungary for 6 months. I've been here for 6 months. I go home in 6 days. I've grown every month because I have done these things. I didn't let it be an excuse. I messaged people that message that I told you, and guess what? I had Mackenzie or my husband send out samples, right? They were happy to help me do that most of the time. So, I grew every month I was here, and that's another reason I love this business. Where else can you find something where you can grow your income when you're not even in the country, So I just really enjoyed, this really is simple if you allow it to be. And pick your level, maybe you want to just reach out to one person a day. That's all you can mentally handle. Do that, but do it. And I think in a year, you'll be like, dang, I'm so glad I listened to Kelly and I did that. Okay? Anybody have any questions?
I missed PNP. What's PNP?
People who need plexus. It's also
too busy replying to all the messages I sent.
That's amazing. That's how it works. That's how it works. And then, sometimes, guys, it's like things happen in the nooks and crannies. Like if somebody messages you, you can't be like, oh, but it's not my power hour, so you're going to need to wait. Obviously not. Does this always fit into one little neat chunk in my day? It doesn't. it fits into 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, but I do have a list. And at the end of the day, I'll sit down and be like, what have I not done today? I didn't add anybody on Facebook today. I did not talk personally to a single person, you know? So I really do have a list that I go by. Yeah, so. And then if you could message me when we're done and let me know if this was helpful or if it was super dumb, or anything in between, I would love it. Or how I could make this better, more helpful. You know, I'm really here to help you guys succeed at whatever level you want to succeed at. Okay?
Absolutely. One thing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So it's Jen, by the way. One of the things that I was telling you about the Excel spreadsheet that I was doing, and then you mentioned something else.
Yes.
I don't know if that would help other people.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I created one to show you, and then I forgot to do that. So let me go do that right now. Oh, and then I need to do a drawing, because I'm going to give away the book of someone's choice to help with your personal development. Here is a Trello board. Hang on a second. Let me share my screen real quick, guys. And I'll show you what Trello is. Carrie Miller showed this to me. This is like almost like a to-do list. It's called a Trello board. Can you guys see that? So I have over here on the left, those 8 things that I need to do every day so that I know what it is I need to do. Next to it, I have my PNP list, my Frank's list. So easily I can say, oh, right, I need to talk to Jill Gann about this. Someday, maybe not today, but at some point I do, and I'll add her there. Then I have a series of dates. For example, let's just say I sent out a sample on August 25th to Mary T. Mary Blige. Mary J. Blige wanted a sample. I sent it to her. And on September 1st, I put it on my list then I need to follow up with her. F you. That's not what I want to say to Mary Blige. I follow up. Okay. Right? And so I put that there. If on September 1st she doesn't reply, I might move this card to September 3rd. Right? So I just have all my dates, and I put, here's what I do too. Let's say a new ambassador joined on the 28th. Around September 1st, John is going to get his products. So I do first follow-up, right? And then when I made that first follow-up happen, I'll move his card to like the 8th. Well, I don't have that one set up, but I'll move it. You can move the cards around. It's really an interesting way to keep track. You can also, let's just say I've talked to Cedric the Entertainer, which actually I put him on there because I have somebody taking this that's on a show for ABC, and Cedric the Entertainer is on the show, and he has said, what's that pink drink? I might want to try it. So anyway, I'll put here, I talked to him on Facebook message on 8/31. And the result of that is I should check back in October with him for whatever reason. You can add notes and you can look back, because once you start doing this, you're going to be like, wait a minute. We talked about Plexus, I know, but I can't remember what her end thing was. You can look back and be like, oh, that's right. She needs to pay for this first and then she wants to do it, right? But if you don't write all this down, I can't even remember to shower half days. So I will forget. But Trello is a great tool. And you can use it any way you want. You can just make lists. Okay? That's Trello. Okay, so I'm going to do a drawing. And whoever wins will get to pick out whatever book they want. And I'll send it to you so that you can have something to do for your 10 minutes of personal development. I think I have everybody on here, guys. If I don't, I'm sorry. Hang on. Where's my wheel of fun? Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. Marcy wins a book. Marcy, you can just message me and we can discuss which one you want.
I want you to spin again.
You want me to spin again?
Yes. I have Get Over Your Damn Self and I haven't read it yet. So share with somebody else.
Well, that's so
Thank
nice
you,
of
though.
you. You're so nice. Everybody give a hand to Marcy. She's generous and benevolent.
Why are you laughing, Mackenzie?
Just her use of the word benevolent was just
Is Sally on the call still? Sally? Sally?
Yes,
Are
I
you there?
am.
Okay, great. All right. You message me and tell me what book you want.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, this is perfect timing because Matt just wrapped and I have to jump in a van and head back to our apartment. So I love you all. You're some of my favorite people on the planet. And do this every day and you'll literally kiss my feet the next time you see me. Okay?
Bye, Cal.
Bye.
Bye.